Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dobbs, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Today, we are breaking down my top 10 offensive tackles in the 2024 NFL Draft. Guys, if you love the draft and you want more draft content, you know what to do. Give this video a like. Please consider subscribing. Let's go. At 6'6", 321 pounds, Fashanu has one of the most complete physical tools and operational utility marriages in the 2024 class. He's a long, strong, powerful blocker who also brings high-end short area mobility, rare recovery athleticism, a near unshakable center of gravity, and the torquing capacity and core strength to finish blocks. He's fleet-footed and malleable when matching rushers and has the combined independent hand usage, energy efficiency, and anchor strength to control rushers from the start to finish on pass protecting reps. Fashanu is dialed in as a pass protector with a keen understanding of snap timing, body positioning, and strike timing. He also has the movement skills and length to potentially thrive on an island at the next level. There are occasional lapses in balance on Fashanu's tape, where he loses leverage and struggles to recalibrate his base against power rushes. While Fashanu can get to landmarks on time and win quickly, he struggles in the second and third phase of run blocks due to his base narrowing early, his pads rising, and getting overextended as the rep progresses. This leads to mediocre sustain and finishing skills, falling off blocks, and being on the ground way too often. Overall, Olu Fashanu has high-end physical tools with rarely seen polish as a pass protector that is counterbalanced with being one of the more underdeveloped as a finisher in the run game. His ability to thrive on an island and pass protection from day one in the NFL with the tools and flashes for even further development and upside makes him my OT1 in this year's class. Let's watch some highlights. The physical traits are where it starts with Joe Alt. At 6'8", 315 pounds, he has a towering frame with impressive length, and his tape shows off uncanny athleticism and recovery capacity at that size. Joe Alt is an extremely explosive and free-flowing athlete with unnatural foot speed and agility. He couples that with absurd flexibility and bend. Those physical traits already set an incredible foundation for a prospect who's proven to be smooth and disciplined with his footwork, combative and precise with his hands, and very instinctive as a stunt protector and run blocker. Joe Alt wins as a pass protector with light coordinated feet and even weight distribution to reach his landmarks balanced, under control, and on time. He maximizes his length and plays long with a flat back and head out of the block, keeping defenders at his fingertips with light, effective, independent strikes, allowing him to protect the corner and fluidity redirect against inside moves. Joe Alt is not the most powerful run blocker, but he more than makes up for it with pristine technique on and through contact, with excellent pad level, balance, and body control to steer, sustain, and finish blocks consistently. This shows up on both the front and back side of Notre Dame's inside-outside zone and pin pull concepts from the first to the second level of a defense. 2023 was an extremely promising step in the right direction for Joel, who got closer to true NFL level strength and visibly improved his technique. With strength and hand usage no longer serving as concerns, Joel checks off all the boxes to be a blue chip OT prospect and a franchise left tackle prospect with an all-pro ceiling. Let's watch some highlights. Offensive tackle J.C. Latham grades out as a blue chip prospect and a top 10 talent in the 2024 draft. He's worth an early first round capital, and especially for teams in need of a natural right tackle with dual side pass and run blocking appeal. As crazy as it may seem, J.C. Latham might be the third best offensive tackle in the 2024 class, even with his blue chip grade. Notre Dame's Joe Alt and Penn State's Olu Fashanu are just as good, but Latham provides a unique kind of upside with his elite explosiveness, power, and road grading ability in the run game. Not only is Latham extremely explosive and forceful, but he's also incredibly well developed. For a 6'6" blocker, he's extremely natural at reaching the proper pad level and loading his base. Latham moves people on the ground, plain and simple. And while that's where most of his highlight reps rest, he's also a very good pass protector. Balance against counters can be an issue at times, but overall, he's a smooth, patient, and disciplined blocker with suffocating grip strength once he anchors. As if all of this isn't enough, Latham's tone-setting mentality seals the deal. He's a high-energy competitor who exudes physicality off the snap and will finish defenders into the turf if they give up leverage or lose balance. Overall, J.C. Latham will be 21 years old throughout the duration of his rookie season in the NFL with a striking blend of size, play strength, power, and competitive toughness to overwhelm defenders in the run and pass game. He needs to add patience to counterbalance his attacking playstyle, but he has the tools, skill set, and runway to start in year one with Pro Bowl potential within the first contract. Right now, I've got a top 15 grade on J.C. Latham. Let's watch some highlights. Taliese Fuaga is an efficient mover out of his stance with good initial quicks to get to landmarks with low pads and heavy hands, delivering jolt at the point of attack. He works combination blocks effectively, bumping and feeding to secure the first level before taking very good angles on climbs to intersect backers. Taliese is also functional as a pooler with the movement skills to lead, track, and line up smaller targets around the edge. His proficient angles help mitigate his below average change of direction ability, but he is vulnerable to losing quickly if defenders can break him down in space. Taliese Fuaga plays with a flat back posture with his head of blocks in pass protection with a firm, quick anchor. He balances heavy hands with light, independent strikes to disrupt the timing of tightly aligned rushers. Fuaga does drift and overset against wide rush alignments and rushers who know how to weaponize stutters and hesitations, leaving him vulnerable to losing across his face. He also has a bad habit of striking down the middle of high side rushers, creating a short corner that the cross chop technique can exploit. Fuaga gets impatient in his pass set at times, with him lunging and reaching towards the defender. In the second level, he can over pursue his defender with his momentum, which allows them to make a tackle. He needs to demonstrate consistency in those instances. Overall, Fuaga has the ability to be the next Trent Williams, but on the right side of the offensive line. He might not be as fast, but his ability to get to the second level and maul a hole opening is identical. His plus athleticism will allow him to be successful in the NFL. He's a grader in the run game and a good asset in the passing game. Fuaga has Pro Bowl starter potential thanks to his frame, a mean punch, and heavy anchor. I expect he lives up to that potential. Right now, I've got a top 20 grade on Taliese Fuaga. Let's watch some highlights. Amarius Mims is a towering figure with a rocked-up build, big hands, and very good arm length. He is an easy, smooth mover with fluid redirect skills, range, and body control. 2023 was supposed to be Mims' chance to complete the cycle and slingshot himself into round 1 territory, but an ankle injury that required tightrope surgery took him off the field for a stretch, and Georgia, falling short of the CFP playoff, missed an opportunity to extend the season. Amarius Mims only has 8 career starts, and he wasn't even completely healthy for half of them. And yet, even with all of that, he still demands attention as a round 1 draft selection. That's just a testament of how talented Amarius Mims is. Amarius Mims is a raw, unrefined run blocker who uses his big body and length to press and shield defenders away from the ball on down blocks, showing very good grip strength to latch and keep opponents at his fingertips once inside their frame. He is also an asset on the move on screens and as a lead blocker with very good quickness to line up and blot out second level threats. Mims' outstanding physical tools shine in pass protection, where he glides out of his stance into his 45-degree and vertical sets. He shows plenty of range to protect the edge on an island with the redirect skills and body control to mirror through the top of the quarterback's drop. The biggest question for Mims might be his durability and dependability early on in his NFL career. He has just 8 career starts to his name. That said, if teams clear Mims medically, there's very little stopping him from going early on in the 2024 NFL Draft. Though Mims may need a larger acclimation period at the next level, his complete palette of traits will allow him a larger margin for error as he gets started. In time, he can develop into an impact starter at either tackle spot. Right now, I've got a round 1 grade on Amarius Mims. Let's watch some highlights. The movement skills of Guyton are still pretty silly for how big, tall, and heavy this guy is. Guyton can quickly drive out the blocks and overtake defenders with how much momentum he's capable of building in short spaces. It's impressive to see him explode into the second level and cut off linebackers just as much as it is to see him stepping down and attacking a 3 technique. Guyton's fluidity throughout his frame is a big plus as well. You can see the free moving ability through his hips and core, which allows him to flash and react with grace and respond well when tested with quick penetration or a sharp redirection angle to attempt to cut underneath his block. His ability here bodes well for power concepts and zone concepts alike in the run game to open his frame and play with power. When it comes to negatives, 2023 was his first full season as a starter. We've seen him get a bit flat-footed in pass protection, and sometimes he struggles to get going again and stay connected through the snap at times, especially when working against counters. He also has some tendency to lower his head when defending against speed on the edge, and can also lunge when trying to stay engaged in the run game at times. Overall, Guyton is a young, inexperienced, and green tackle prospect with elite physical tools and flashes of dominance that can get him on the field right away. He can eventually bloom into a high-end starter in the NFL, but he will need to be brought along slowly in a more conservative scheme and veteran O-line room before bridging that gap. I can see Guyton fitting in either a gap or zone scheme, and I expect him to end up as a right tackle in the professional level as well. With time, this guy has major upside. Let's watch some highlights. Jordan Morgan has epic versatility and is a guy who is a plug-and-play starter at tackle or guard at the next level from day one. He's 320 pounds with incredibly light feet and really good flexibility. His movement skills are tremendous and effective in protection from the ground up. Morgan's functional strength and anchor are plus qualities. He boasts an imposing size that NFL teams covet in an offensive tackle. His well-proportioned build and ideal height give him a physical advantage against opposing defenders. Morgan's frame provides a solid foundation for both pass protection and run blocking at the professional level. One of Morgan's standout strengths is his exceptional strength. His ability to anchor against bull rushes and generate power in run blocking situations sets him apart. Morgan's strength is a foundational asset that promises to make him a force in the trenches in the NFL. One identified area for improvement is Morgan's tendency to open his hips prematurely in pass sets. Refining his technique to maintain a more closed position against speed rushers will be crucial at the NFL level. Improved hip discipline will enhance his ability to mirror elusive edge defenders. While displaying quick feet, Jordan Morgan's footwork would also benefit from greater consistency, especially in lateral movements. Enhancing footwork precision will contribute to improved balance and agility in pass protection. In summary, Jordan Morgan absolutely has the goods. He's got a prototypical build, would appear to have some positional flexibility, and offers a strong mix of power and mobility. The medical history may offer some red tape that could see NFL teams give the tie to other prospects early on in the draft, but the risk will well be worth the reward sometime during the second round. Let's watch some highlights. It doesn't take a deep dive into Patrick Paul's film to see that this guy has the prototypical length for the position. There's room for growth and a slew of uncoachables in the pros column, which one has to imagine will heavily factor into his NFL draft stock. If you constructed the ideal offensive tackle, you may just pull Paul's wingspan and put it onto the prototype. The length of this dude is absolutely crazy. I wouldn't say Paul is a plus athlete, but he has the foot speed and enough reactive athleticism to dominate at the next level. Paul's physical attributes are absolutely the hallmark of his draft profile, but they're also a bit of a double-edged sword. Paul has a massive frame, and as a result, he struggles with pad level consistency at times. Paul gets into trouble against effective stutters and hesitations, drifting and oversetting, but he can at least slow down inside moves with his length. He needs to work on keeping his pads down at the top of the quarterback's drop to maintain leverage and prevent falling off blocks late in the rush. While he has the functional strength and length to win at the NFL level, he does have some ways to go when it comes to technique. If Paul can improve his hand efficiency and expand beyond simple two-hand extensions, he has enough in his toolbox to be a solid starter in a pass-heavy offense. But it might take some time for him, and due to the fact that he's almost a 24-year-old rookie, to get there, his margin of error is smaller without that elite athleticism. Overall, Patrick Paul is a developmental offensive tackle who has the thresholds needed to be coveted as a long-term project. Ultimately, Paul might project best as a swing tackle early on in his career. Whether he can grow beyond that depends on the development moving forward, but he does have the size, power, and physicality to eventually earn reps as a starter. I see Patrick Paul with upside to be selected on day 2 of the 2024 draft. Let's watch some highlights. Kingsley Suamataia is a high-end offensive tackle prospect who has consistently improved with each year he played for the BYU Cougars. Suamataia was a former 5-star recruit out of high school, and it's easy to see why he was so highly regarded as a prep recruit. Suamataia is an extremely talented tackle prospect who has everything you want in an NFL tackle. He needs to clean up some of the more technical pieces to his game, but the talent and upside are as legit as they come. Let's talk about strengths. This is a first off the bus caliber prospect who very much looks the part of a mauler role he fills up front. He has outstanding size and is a very good athlete. In the run game, Suamataia displays excellent power at the point of attack. He can displace defenders with his short area burst and hand power and always works to sustain throughout the whistle. He has very good lateral movement skills and is excellent working to the second level and on quick pulls and screens. Kingsley also has very quick feet underneath and nice instincts as a blocker, combined with good hand placement and overall power. He's incredibly agile in space and violent once he gets his hands on a defender. And then we get to negatives. Suamataia is pretty inexperienced and will need to prove that he can block the top prospects between now and the draft. He has to develop more consistency in pass protection in order to ensure he reaches his massive potential, but his young playing career offers ample reason for optimism. At times, he can be extremely good at working outside rushers, and then other times, he gets off balance and struggles. He has the length to keep outside rushers away, but he struggles with allowing those rushers to get inside himself, and he struggles when that happens. Lastly, he struggles with blitzes and stunts sent towards him, and his hand-use placement is inconsistent. Overall, Suamataia has the physical tools of a starting tackle with an unrefined skill set that is built on flashes rather than proven consistency. But he'll only be 21 when he gets drafted, and he has the runway to add polish to his game and bridge that gap within his first contract in an RPO play-action based system that can help bring him along slowly. I can see a team drafting him early on account of his length, lateral mobility, and power. All in all, premium positions like offensive tackle don't see guys with these traits linger too long. As we currently stand, I've got Kingsley pegged for day 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft with upside for round 1. Let's watch some highlights. If you're looking for an interior offensive lineman with a ton of tools, Kiran Amegadjie is your guy. This guy has tools for days. Amegadjie is the splitting image of a starting NFL offensive tackle, and he's got an incredible foundation to be magnificent in the NFL. The length, the overwhelming strength, and the core power all show up in big ways when he's able to secure his hands on a defender. With over 36-inch arms and excellent power, combined with a solid burst off the line of scrimmage, you begin to understand why this is a legit prospect. As a bonus, Amegadjie also has experience at guard in addition to tackle. Thus, teams will be able to play him wherever they see fit to maximize his skills. He may need a slightly longer developmental runway, but he can be a road grader on the interior or a suffocating blindside blocker down the road. And then we get to negatives. The obvious discussion point is that Kieran is coming out from playing at Yale, and the level of competition is going to feature a huge jump. This certainly doesn't put a ceiling on a player with the physical gifts that Amegadjie has, but it does impact the floor. Are you realistically drafting him to play as a rookie? It's also important to note that Amegadjie had his 2023 college season cut short on account of a quad injury that required surgery. What does the recovery process look like for him in the pre-draft process? We'll know more in a bit. In summary, this elite blend of physical tools gives Amegadjie big-time upside to be a high-end starting left tackle in the NFL. Amegadjie's rise from a 2-star recruit to a top prospect speaks volumes to his incredible work ethic and determination. His ability to excel in both pass protection and run blocking, combined with his impressive athleticism for his size, makes him an easy day 2 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Let's watch some highlights. All right, guys, those are our top 10 offensive tackles in the 2024 NFL Draft. Do you agree or disagree with my rankings? You know what to do. Let me know in that comment section below. For everything draft, give me a follow on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay awesome.